Some civil society groups attribute the high number of gender-based violence to the inadequate enforcement of laws and policies. Now, if we look at government, it, on the other hand, deems the scourge as mostly societal and needing both communities and the state to end it. According to the South African Police Service, numbers of gender-based violence have increased since level 3 of the national lockdown, as well as the brutal killing of women over the last few weeks. However, femicide has been a major concern in the country, and it continues to rise, even this after the President Cyril Ramaphosa actually going out and declaring it a national crisis in September 2019. Well, joining us on the program now to talk about this, we've got Patrick Shai. He's the founder of Khuluma Ndoda. It's a men's social movement against all types of gender-based violence. Also joining us is Mary Makhaba. She is the director of People Opposing Women Abuse, or I suppose more commonly known as POWER. Good to have both of you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting us.
An absolute pleasure. I want to begin by asking Mary, last night, obviously, we saw the president coming out and many of us talking and thinking it was only going to be about, what's going to be eased up in terms of the regulations and lockdown. But he spent a great portion of his address to the nation talking about the scourge of gender-based violence. How does this work? Does it help listening to a president speaking the way he did last night about how bad the situation is in South Africa?
Thank you, Leanne, for such a very, very, very brilliant question. What I can say is that within the presidency, endeavors are being made to make sure that we reduce femicide, gender-based violence, including femicide. Remember, we have the National Strategic Plan on gender-based violence and femicide. But it is very, very important that we action the matter as a sense of agency. Since the ease of lockdown regulations, particularly we are now on level 3, availability of substance, habit-forming substances, for instance, like alcohol, I think it's one of the drivers of gender-based violence, particularly femicide. I don't think these perpetrators are sober-minded, because if you check all these current femicide patterns and trends, it clearly indicates that in terms of we need to change the mindset and the mentality. But since alcohol is available all over, since the level 3, current cases are prevailing pertaining to femicide. Government